Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hello and welcome to my channel. So we'll be painting another landscape painting today, and this is I think one of my favorite subjects, landscapes. Here are the colors that we'll be using for today's painting tutorial. We have here titanium white, sap green, lemon yellow or mid yellow, burnt sienna, black, and tiny bit of orange. Let's begin now, guys. And you can see here my canvas is painted gray. This is because I'm using an old painting of mine. I covered it, I painted over it so that I can reuse the canvas. I don't like the painting underneath anymore, so let's just make use of the canvas. Let's not throw it away. So I'll be sketching first the subject. You can use any background color or underpainting. It doesn't matter if you're using gray. I just use gray just to cover the painting underneath, but the background is very much like black. You can use black as well because of the foliage that we'll be doing later. So anyway, I'll be showing you first the sketch. So for the sketch, I'm just gonna use my, I think, burnt sienna. Alright, so I'm just gonna use my burnt sienna here. Maybe I'm gonna add tiny bit of black if ever that burnt sienna does not or is not visible. So we'll be doing something like this today. It's a pathway with some fence. Alright, and there's some hills right here. Right, like that. And there will be some trees right here. I'm just showing you the sketch, guys, but this is not definitely. So there will be some trees, especially in the background. Yeah, like that. So there will be like a cliff right here on the left side. It's a cliff. So I hope I am making sense. Alright, and this will be some rocks. Okay, so that's basically the sketch, guys. Now let's proceed to underpainting it. So I'm gonna do first the pathway. So for that, I'll be using my burnt sienna, my titanium white. I'll be adding a little bit of orange to make it a little more pinky color. Again, burnt sienna, and then black. So it's like this color. Alright, and I'm just gonna paint, oops. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of black. Right here. All right, that's basically the underpainting for the pathway. Okay, and now I'm going to do some foliage in the background while we're waiting for the colors of this to dry. So for that, I'm just gonna use my black. Get your black. Actually, you can mix your black with your sap green to make some dark greeny color. You don't have to use pure black because some people don't like doing or using pure black. I really don't mind doing that, but yeah, I just want to tell you that some people are not into that. Okay, so just color this area dark green or black. Okay, this will serve as the shadow and depth and the volume of and the thickness of the foliage in the background. Okay. Don't worry about painting over the sketch. It's just the sketch anyway. Just remember where you put the sketch or take a picture of your sketch so that you can take a look at it anytime you want, even if it's already painted over. Doesn't matter. Me, I'm just gonna remember where I place it. Okay, make it quite dark. All right. Remember that we're simply doing some depth and volume in the background. These are not really the foliage that we'll be doing later. We'll be adding more detailed um, foliage later. So you can see it's really abstractish, and I think I've said this before, the most relaxed portion of my painting process is the underpainting, because I can go really, really abstractish with the intention of giving it some sense later. For now, it doesn't make sense at all. It's all black and it's all colors, you can see. All right, now we proceed to underpainting this side, and for that, I'll be using my black and brown. Okay, you can use whatever color it is that you like on your palette, because this is just the underpainting. You know, while I'm doing the tutorial, I'm actually listening to some ASMR. I don't know if you're that type of painter who likes to listen to like white noise or ASMR while painting. It relaxes me, it gives me focus. So while I'm talking to you, my other ear is actually listening to, I have my earphone plugged in my ear. I'm listening to some ASMR. All right, like that. Okay. All right. Now let's do the fence. So for that, I'll be using my white and brown. Okay. This time we'll be more careful because we're trying to do some lines. That also here. All right, like that. Okay, now I'll just be careful in doing some black colors right here. Okay, and some greens. Oops. Right, like that. Okay. Now let's do some background foliage, all right? Because I don't want to paint over the background foliage once I start doing the trees. So I don't want to do the tree trunks and the foliage next because I will definitely paint over it and it's a waste of time. So again, I'm just gonna use a round stiff brush for this one. I'm just gonna dab onto my Sap Green. You can use Q-tips that are bundled together, you know, just like the usual artists do. I'm gonna get my green and then make some muted yellow greeny color, just like this color. And I'm just gonna make some foliage in the background. And also on the soil part, so I'm gonna make it more yellow green. You can add a little bit of burnt sienna. Right here. Along the road as well, like that. Some yellows. All right, like that. And okay, I'm gonna leave it like that for now. Let's create some tree trunks. So I'm gonna dab onto my gray. Get your white and get your black. Just mix them together to create some gray color. You can add burnt sienna and maybe orange, like this. And just use this color to create some tree trunks. All right, and then get your burnt sienna. Okay, get your black, like that. All right, like that. Right. All right. Definitely, it's making sense already. Okay. Now I want you to get your white, pure white. Okay. And then highlight this tree. Using white. Okay. Highlight the left side of each tree trunk. All right, like that. Okay, get some black and brown mixture. All right, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna add more details, especially on the foreground. This will be some rocks, all right, like bricks or stones, not rocks. This will be some stony part of this hill. So first I'm gonna get my light brown. So I'm gonna get my burnt sienna plus white plus yellow. Maybe this color. Add a little bit of orange. I'm just gonna make some brush strokes that would suggest roughness of the hills or the soil. I'm just dry brushing. Okay. All right. I will definitely use my palette knife later, but I just want to use my brush first before I go into those random details. Okay, I'm gonna get my black. All right, like that. Okay, I'm gonna get my Sap Green to create some grasses or grass-like brush strokes along the pathway that we have here. Okay, like that. And then, yeah, I'm going to do the pathway now. So I'll be highlighting it. I'm gonna get my white. So dab onto your white, but add a little bit of water to that. I'm gonna add a little bit of brown. Okay. And then maybe orange, like this color. All right, maybe more white. Okay, let's try to highlight this part of the pathway. So again, maintain, I told you earlier that I was listening to ASMR. Now my ASMR just got finished, so I have to repeat the ASMR. All right, like this. All right, like that. All right. Now let's do some rocks or stones right here. So I'm gonna get my gray. So just get some gray color, maybe this color. Just make some suggestions of rocks. So these are not rocks. I keep saying rocks. These are stones. All right. Now I'm gonna get my burnt sienna. And then black. adding more depth. Okay, using white and black to create gray color, I'm gonna add brown, more white. I'm gonna try to cover these stones. All right. Okay, I'm gonna allow it to dry. I'm gonna use my palette knife. I actually don't have my palette knife. I'm gonna get it. Okay, since I don't have my palette knife here, let's do some more foliage. All right, I'm gonna do more branches. I'm gonna dab onto my brown and black. I'm gonna use a more pointy or more thin brush to create those little branches. Okay. Gonna add more branches. Right, and maybe some distant trees. They're thin because they're distant, not because they're actually thin. All right, I'm gonna get my black. I'm gonna get my black and create more patterns here. All right. I need more black because my black is already turning gray. Let me check. All right, this is making sense already. I'm gonna darken the right side of the tree, but then I'm gonna use this opportunity to create some like that horizontal details on the tree trunks by using my fingers, if you can tell. I'm like dragging the paint horizontally. Alright, like that. Okay, and I'm just gonna outline this tree trunk. Okay, I'm just darkening the right side of the tree trunks so that the light is really emphasized. Okay, I'm gonna add some more distant tree trunks. Right, and then give me a minute, guys. I'm just gonna get, no, not give me a minute, give me a second. I'm just gonna get my palette knife because I forgot to get it. Yep, super quick. So I just got my palette knife here. So I'll be doing more details on the soil portion. So for that, I'll be dabbing onto my existing colors right here. I'm gonna get my white, and then burnt sienna, and then black. I'm just gonna use this area. Yellow, and I don't know, orange. Okay, I'm just gonna use this color to create, yeah, like that, to create some patterns on the soil. This will give it more natural look, which I always, aim for whenever I do landscape paintings. I'm gonna dab it here as well on the stones. This will be detailed later. I'm just trying to apply some roughness. Okay, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna get like my fan brush. I want to create more foliage in the background, so I'm gonna use my fan brush. I'm gonna dab onto my sap green and yellow to create some yellow greeny color, but maybe I'm just gonna get more black. Okay, so let's create more foliage in the background by gently dabbing on to the canvas, creating those foliage like brush strokes. Here as well, I'm going to make some suggestion of some grasses. All right, this is beautiful. Beautiful. So I'm gonna darken some areas along the pathway because of perspective. So I'm gonna get my black. So using my black, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to darken the most distant portion of the pathway. This is to give it perspective. We don't want to lose perspective, because if we lose perspective in our paintings, especially landscape, then it becomes really flat, and we don't want flat art for now. Okay, that's not the goal for today's painting. All right, like that. Okay, I'm gonna use the same method. I'm gonna make it more brown here along the pathway. Okay, like that. Just to give it some natural look. You don't want to miss that. It's a small detail probably, but you don't want to miss that. Right, like that. Okay, now I'm gonna highlight this portion of the pathway. I'm gonna use my palette knife and dab onto my brownie and white mixture. So I'm going to use my palette knife and try to make some strokes like this, or palette knife markings. Okay, now I'm gonna use, okay, I'm gonna use my gray. I'm gonna dab on, I'm gonna get my white, I'm gonna get my black. Okay, I'm gonna use this color again in the same manner right here. Okay, I'm gonna go right here as well to make it more rustic. All right, now let's go back to the fence area. We're going to make it look more natural. I'm gonna get my gray, I'm gonna get my brown, and perhaps black. So I'm gonna apply some of that color right here. All right, now I'm gonna get my orange. We have our orange, right? All right, so get your orange, and I'm gonna apply that quite randomly on the fence to make it appear like it's really rustic and old. Okay, that. Okay, a little bit of orange as well in, I mean, on the pathway to make it more coherent. Okay, and even on the soil. All right. I love it, guys. All right, let's finish this stone portion. I'm gonna get my white, get your white, and try to follow me um, by doing it is that I am doing. So we're going to make it look more natural. So not every rock that you see here will be highlighted. Some will be highlighted partially, some will be highlighted wholly or fully. And some will be really, really in different colors. I'm gonna get my black again. Just to separate each rock. I really feel like sneezing, guys. Oh my god, good thing it did not, I did not sneeze. So I'm adding some black markings. Like that. All right, let me check. Oh, nice, gosh. So good. I'm gonna get my white. Again, I'm just gonna highlight this fence. And then using white, I'm just gonna glaze over some white paint randomly, um, randomly on the pathway to suggest some light. All right, like that. Okay, I'm gonna get my light brown and let's highlight some trees right here that we have on the right side, on the left side. Okay, I'm gonna get a smaller brush, a more pointy brush. Oh, this is so good. I actually didn't expect this to be good. All right, so I'm gonna get my pointy brush. I'm gonna dab onto my gray color that we have here to add more vines. Oh, no, 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 no. Vines? Yeah, yeah. All right, or branches, or I think these are vines more than branches. Okay. I'm just correcting this one. It looks a little weird to me. Okay, I'm gonna get my black and try to darken the right side. I'm gonna add some details on the trees. Right. Okay, white is to highlight. Okay, let's highlight even more these rocks. Oh, no, no, no. Stones. Okay, let me check. This looks really nice. I find this really weird. Okay, this tree. All right, I just fixed that. Find it really weird. Okay, now let's highlight. All right. Okay, now I want to add more foliage. So I'm just gonna get my yellow, the remaining yellow that I have here, some green as well. And let's create, okay, I'm gonna add more brown to make it more muted. I'm just gonna do the same thing that we've done already. Just tap. Can even add some green in between those stones to suggest that these stones have been there for quite a long time already, that it has already grown some moss. Moss? Is that moss? Right. Okay, using my black, I'm gonna add a little more markings on the stones to make it more natural looking. Right, like that. Using my light brown. All right, let me check. Oh my God, this is so good. I did not expect this at all. I'm adding some brown spots right here to make it look more natural. All right, so I think I'm gonna sign this now because this is really looking good. Oh my god, I did not expect this one. I'm gonna sign, where do you want me to sign this? I think I'm gonna sign right here, but this is just too beautiful to be covered. So I'm gonna sign, all right, I'm gonna sign right here, okay? On the pathway. A little Chinese signature. All right, we're done, guys. We're done. Oh my gosh, this is so good. I really want this painting for myself. So I hope you enjoy this one and I hope you do this one as well. If you're doing this, let me know in the comment section below. Tag me in your on your post and or message me. So see you in my next video. Mm. 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 Mm.